Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you an opening trap. So it's the Siberian trap. So it starts with e4, white plays e4 and black just replies with c5, the Sicilian defense. Here white plays d4. He just sacrifices this d4 pawn so that he can develop his pieces more beautifully. So here black just captured this pawn on d4 with c into d4, and if here white plays queen into d4, then we have knight to c6 and white loses the tempo after queen to d1. So after c into d4, white played c3. He has sacrificed another pawn so that he can develop more good. So here black played d into c3. He also took this pawn on c3 with d into c3. Now here black can also play d3. Now this knight is can't move to c3 because the c3 pawn is there. So it will be an equal position after d3, but here black played d into c3. Here white took this pawn on c3 with knight into c3. And here black just developed his piece with knight to c6. And here white played the best move, developing his knight to f3. Here black played e6. He's opening up this bishop's diagonal so that he can move this bishop and knight and then he can castle kingside. Here white developed another piece with bishop to c4. Here white played queen to c7, stopping this e5 pawn so that white can't move this e4 pawn to e5. And later on black can also play e5 and the center will be blocked now for white. Here white simply castled kingside and here black played knight to f6 attacking this e4 pawn in the center. Here white played queen to e2, developing his queen and also supporting the c4 pawn. But here white can also play rook to e1. He is also supporting this e4 pawn in the center. Here white can also play moves like h3. He is developing his pawn to h3 so that this knight can't jump to g4. But the best move for white in this position is to play knight to b5. Now this after this queen moves to b8, he is keeping up this diagonal so that he can attack white afterwards. Here white plays e5. Brilliant move. Now black will be thinking why he played e5. Here if black captures knight into e5, then after the exchange we have rook to e1 and this will be a better position for white. So here white played queen to e2 and here black played knight to g4. Brilliant move. He just developed his knight to g4 and giving pressure on this h2 pawn with both his queen and knight. Here white played a blunder. It's h3. Can you find it? Why it is a blunder? Here black played a brilliant move. Can you find it? Yes, it's knight to d4. What a brilliant move. Here if white captures his pawn, knight on d4 with knight into d4, queen h2 is a simple checkmate. And if white captures this knight on g4, h into g4, knight into e2 and white loses his queen. And if the queen moves anywhere like d3, that is knight into f3 check, g takes on f3 and queen h2 is again a checkmate. So instead of playing h3 in this position, if white plays moves like bishop to b3, then again we have the same idea of knight to d4. So here white can play rook to d1, which is the best move in this position, so that he can move his king to f1 after knight to d4. And this rook is also protecting this d4 square so that the knight can't jump to d4. So this is a good position for white, but here black plays bishop to c5, attacking this f2 pawn, and black will have a slight edge in this position. So here, what if white plays knight to b5? Then this queen moves to b8, keeping up the diagonal so that he can play knight to d4 later on. Here, if white plays any moves like a3, we have a6. Now this knight is under attack and has to move to c3. And then we have again with the same idea of knight to d4. And we have seen this idea earlier. So white will not play a3 now. If he plays h3, so that after a6 he can capture this pawn, knight on g4 with h into g4, then black doesn't play a6, he plays h5. Now if white takes this knight on g4 with h into g4, we have h into g4, and after this knight moves to d2, queen h2 is again a checkmate. So here the best move for white is to play g3. Now our threat is to play h into g4. So this is the best move for white in this position. So here black plays knight g to e4. He keeps up this knight in the center. And after this exchange knight into e5 and knight into e5, and white plays bishop to f4, pinning this knight to the queen. And here black can simply play a6, and both the sides have equal chances to win the game. Hope you guys enjoyed this game. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos. Thank you.